Have you ever noticed how, when something hurts inside, we try to fix everything on the outside? We buy something, distract ourselves, work too much, scroll endlessly through our feed, and even then, that feeling is still there. A kind of emptiness, an anxiety, a restlessness that seems impossible to name. But what if I told you that the healing you're searching for isn't outside, but within? And even more than that it begins with something simple, accessible, and deeply transformative. There is a silent force inside you that may have been muffled by life's experiences. Disappointments, frustrations, guilt, fears, all of these create layers. But beneath all of that, something still remains untouched: pure love. And today I want to show you, through a guided meditation, how to access this source of healing that already lives within you. This is not about romanticizing pain. It's about transforming pain into the energy of growth. It may sound bold to say that love heals everything. Many people associate love only with relationships, but here we are talking about something greater: inner connection, presence, inner peace. When you learn to access your inner divinity, something changes. The way you react changes. The way you feel changes. And that is exactly the path we are about to begin now, step by step, in a practical and deeply meaningful way. Before we dive into the practice, let me ask you a sincere question. What if what you're missing right now isn't more effort, but more love? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to experience here may completely change the way you deal with your emotions, your thoughts, and your own story. First of all, I want to truly welcome you. Not just an automatic welcome, but a sincere acknowledgement. If you are here, it's because some part of you is searching for emotional healing, clarity, or simply a little inner peace. And that already says a lot about you. Not everyone has the courage to pause and look inward. Today, you chose presence. And that choice is already a huge step in your journey of self-awareness. Before any technique, posture, or conscious breathing, there is something fundamental: intention. Intention is like programming the GPS of your energy. If you enter a guided meditation just to see what happens, the result is one thing. But if you enter with an open heart, willing to grow and blossom, the result becomes something entirely different. So I invite you now to define internally. What is your intention today? To heal something? To release something? To feel more pure love? Maybe your intention is simply to reconnect. And that's perfectly okay if it's something simple like that. The practice of mindfulness doesn't require performance. It requires honesty. You don't need to be the most spiritual person in the world. You don't need to feel something special immediately. You just need to be willing to experience. Because when you practice with clear intention, you activate your inner connection. And that's where transformation begins to take shape. And in the next step, we will prepare the ground for this experience to unfold in the best possible way. Just like an inner garden needs space to grow, your practice also needs an environment that supports this energy. Now that you've defined your intention, it's time to prepare the space. And I know, sometimes it feels impossible to find silence in the middle of everyday life. There's always a noise, a notification, someone calling your name. But here's a simple truth. You don't need a temple in the Himalayas. You just need a few minutes of commitment to yourself. A small corner of your home is more than enough to begin. Choosing a calm environment isn't a luxury, it's a strategy. When you reduce external stimuli, mindfulness becomes easier. Your brain understands that it's time to slow down. So if you can, dim the lights, silence your phone, and let anyone nearby know that you're taking this moment for yourself. This small gesture already sends a powerful message to your mind. This matters. And when something becomes important, your energy begins to align with it. Think about it this way. If you want to cultivate an inner garden, you wouldn't plant it in a place full of debris, right? You clear the ground first. Creating the right environment is exactly that, removing excess so that presence can blossom. And when the outer space begins to organize, something interesting happens. Your inner space also begins to gain clarity. In the next step, we'll adjust something even more essential, your body. Because your body is the true temple where this entire experience will unfold. Now that the environment is ready, it's time to take care of your body. And here's something many people overlook. Posture isn't about aesthetics, it's about energy. The way you position your body directly influences your conscious breathing, your mental clarity, and even your emotional state. Have you noticed how when we feel discouraged, we tend to slump forward? And when we feel confident, the chest naturally opens. So sit in a comfortable but alert position. You can sit on the floor, on a cushion, or on a chair with your feet firmly on the ground. Keep your spine upright without stiffness, as if a gentle thread were pulling the top of your head toward the sky. Relax your shoulders. Rest your hands on your legs. This posture creates space for energy to circulate and supports your inner connection. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. The practice isn't about tension, it's about presence. Adjust your body gently. If you need to move, move. If you feel discomfort, correct it. The important thing is finding a position that allows stability and softness at the same time. When the body finds balance, the mind begins to follow. And now that the body is aligned, we can begin releasing what it has been carrying. Because before accessing pure love, we first need to let go of accumulated tension. Now that your posture is adjusted, let's do something simple and powerful. Truly relax. Because many times we think we are relaxed, but the jaw is tight, the shoulders are raised, and the forehead is furrowed as if we were solving a math problem. Start by noticing your face. Relax the jaw. Loosen the tongue. Let your shoulders gently drop. Bring your attention to your body like an inner scanner. Notice where tension exists. Your neck, your back, your abdomen. Simply bringing awareness to these areas already begins a process of emotional healing. And here is something important. Don't fight the tension. Just acknowledge it. Mindfulness works like this. When you illuminate something with awareness, it naturally begins to transform. Now take a deeper conscious breath. Inhale through the nose, filling the chest and abdomen. Hold for a moment, and slowly exhale through the mouth, as if you were releasing weight. Imagine that with every exhale, you are letting go of excess energy, small emotional burdens, small worries. This is the beginning of releasing emotions that have been stored within you. Repeat this process a few times. Inhale, bringing light. Exhale, releasing tension. It's almost like pressing the reset button on your nervous system. And when the body begins to relax, space appears for something very interesting. To truly notice how you are feeling inside. And that's exactly what we are going to explore now. Observing the body and emotions with honesty and without judgment. Now that the body has started to relax, we enter an essential part of the practice, observation. And observing here doesn't mean analyzing, judging, or trying to fix anything. It simply means noticing. How are you really feeling right now? Is there any restlessness, a subtle sadness, or perhaps a fatigue you've been ignoring? This moment is a direct invitation to self-awareness. Many people avoid this step because they're afraid of what they might find. But let me tell you something with kindness. What is seen can be healed. What is avoided continues silently running the show. When you practice this observation with presence, you activate your inner connection. You begin to notice patterns, recurring emotions, automatic reactions. And this awareness is already the beginning of emotional healing. Also observe the physical sensations connected to emotions. Anxiety might tighten the chest. Worry may tense the stomach. Sadness may weigh on the shoulders. The body is always speaking. The question is whether we are listening. And here there is no right or wrong. If discomfort appears, simply acknowledge it. Okay, this is here. This simple attitude creates inner space for transformation. And when you learn to observe without completely identifying with what you feel, something powerful happens. You realize that you are not the emotion. You are the one observing it. And that clarity changes everything. And to deepen this experience even more, we now move toward the most powerful instrument available to you in this moment, your breath. Now we arrive at the heart of the practice, conscious breathing. If you think about it, your breath has been with you since the very first second of your life. And yet we rarely pay attention to it. We live on autopilot. But when you bring presence to the act of breathing, something immediately changes. The mind slows down. The body responds. Energy reorganizes itself. Begin simply by observing the air entering and leaving through your nose. No forcing, no over-controlling. Just notice the natural flow. The air enters. The air leaves. Simple as that. And when the mind tries to wander, because it will, you don't fight it. You just come back. This gentle return is the true training of mindfulness. This is where you strengthen your inner clarity and stability. Now deepen the breath slightly. As you inhale, imagine that you are bringing light into your chest. A soft, warm, welcoming light. And as you exhale, visualize yourself releasing invisible weights, small emotional burdens that have been accumulating. This visualization amplifies the process of emotional release and expands your sense of inner peace. It seems simple, but it is profoundly transformative. With time, you begin to realize that your breath is like an anchor. When everything feels chaotic outside, you can return to it. When intense emotions arise, you can return to it. And this training prepares us for the next step, learning to keep the mind in the present moment. Now comes a part that many people find challenging, dealing with the mind. Because when you begin practicing guided meditation with presence, it can seem like the thoughts increase. But let me reassure you, they didn't increase. You simply started noticing them. The mind has always been noisy. The difference now is awareness. The training here isn't to stop thinking. That would be like trying to stop your heart from beating. The training is to not be carried away by every thought. When a thought appears, I need to solve that. Am I doing this right? What will I eat later? Simply observe it, recognize it, and return to the breath. This movement of leaving and returning strengthens mindfulness like a muscle being trained. And there is something beautiful about this process. Every time you return, you are choosing presence instead of distraction. You are choosing inner connection instead of autopilot. You are choosing clarity instead of mental confusion. And the more you practice, the more you realize that you can stay present even in the middle of external chaos. You might wander and return 50 times during the practice, and that's perfectly okay. There is no failure here. Every return is a silent victory, and it is this more stable mind that allows us to take the next deeper step, opening the heart. Now that your mind is more centered, we can touch the deepest part of this practice, the heart. When I speak about opening the heart, I'm not talking about something mystical or distant. It simply means allowing yourself to feel without armor, accessing the pure love that doesn't depend on anyone else, the love that comes from your own inner divinity. This is the true purpose of meditation, remembering who you are beneath the layers. Imagine now that inside your chest there is an inner garden. Maybe it looks beautiful, maybe it needs care. It doesn't matter. Just visualize it. See this inner space as fertile ground waiting for attention. And in the center of it, imagine a small flower beginning to emerge. This flower represents your essence, your ability to bloom even after storms. With every conscious breath, that flower receives light. As you inhale, you nourish it with energy, abundance, and trust. As you exhale, you remove the weeds, fears, resentments, old guilt. This movement is emotional healing in action. It is the real practice of transforming pain into growth. And the more you visualize it, the more real this sensation becomes in your body. Notice how your chest can expand when you allow yourself to feel gratitude simply for being alive. Feel the subtle joy of recognizing that there is something sacred inside you. This inner connection is not fantasy. It is experience. And when you access this source, you understand that love is not something you search for. It is something you activate. And then something powerful happens. That love begins to overflow. It doesn't stay only within you. It expands into your relationships, your choices, and your actions. You begin living with more clarity, more inner peace, and more awareness. And that's when the phrase begins to make sense. Love heals everything. If you made it this far, something inside you has already begun to shift. Maybe it's not something explosive or dramatic. Sometimes transformation begins quietly, like a seed in the inner garden. But it is there. And now I ask you, what would happen if you chose to cultivate this every day? If you reserved a few minutes to breathe with presence, nourish your inner light, and practice this connection? Remember, the pure love we talked about here isn't a beautiful theory. It is practice. It is conscious breathing when anxiety appears. It is mindfulness when the mind tries to drag you into the past or the future. It is choosing to respond with clarity instead of reacting impulsively. It is allowing the release of emotions instead of accumulating them until they explode. That is emotional maturity. That is self-awareness in motion. And I want to leave you with a few questions to reflect on honestly. Have you been treating your own heart with the same kindness you offer to others? Have you been cultivating your inner garden or letting the weeds grow? What would change in your life if you chose to live from your inner divinity every day? If this experience resonated with you, if it brought inner peace, clarity, or even a small sense of relief, then subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to continue strengthening this energy, this awareness, this journey of blossoming. Because here we are not seeking perfection. We are seeking evolution with presence, joy, and truth. And always remember, love is not something you find outside. It is something you awaken within. And when you awaken it, it truly begins to heal everything.